Hello, I'm Charlie Concha from City AM, and today we are outside a suitably wet and miserable Bank of England, perhaps, where the Monetary Policy Committee has just opted to hold rates at 5.25%. I'm joined by our economics guru, Chris Dorrell, who has just been locked deep in the bowels of the Bank of England. So Chris, no surprises really today.
No, as expected, the Bank of England has left interest rates at 5.25%. So the rate setting committee, there's 9 of them, 6 voted to keep rates where they are, 3 to increase by 25 basis points. So from that, I think you can see that, there's a comfortable majority for keeping things as they are for now, but the kind of balance is slightly tilted to there's more work to be done.
So we had some forecasts today from the bank as well, perhaps painting a slightly more bleak picture. Growth's been downgraded. Can you tell us a bit what the sort of picture the bank is painting at the moment looks like?
Yeah, so over the remainder of this year, they've downgraded their forecasts slightly. Looking into next year, it's pretty much stagnant across the entire year. So you're waiting until the second half of 2025 really before growth starts picking up at all. And that, the bank said, is partly because of the interest rate hikes they've done already, but also less support from fiscal policy and a kind of worse supply side outlook.
I mean, we've heard lots of warnings of recession this year as well, and I think there was a warning today that much of the pain is still yet to come from this rate rising cycle. Is that still a risk that we could drop into recession, but could be tipped into recession?
Yes, so the bank was saying today that at least around half of the impact of the interest rate hikes is still to be felt, which obviously gives a sense of the pain to come down the line. Their forecasts didn't have the economy going into recession at any point, although, as I said, growth stagnant across all of next year, so there's very much a possibility of it. But the MPC members after the meeting were also saying that really, if you're forecasting growth to be flat, whether it's contracting by 0.1%, 0.2% or expanding by 0.1%, 0.2% doesn't make a huge difference. That is not going to change their minds on whether rates need to be cut any sooner. So a recession is a possibility, a mild recession, but I wouldn't expect that would have much of an impact on the bank's policy thinking.
The bank's thinking is obviously driven by what they see in the inflation data in the economy. What can we expect to see in the last sort of 2 prints this year?
The outlook for the remainder of this year is actually quite good. Thanks to falling energy and food prices, the bank expects that inflation will fall to below 5% by the end of the year. So Rishi Sunak will almost certainly meet his target to halve inflation. Interestingly, looking into next year, progress then seems to stall. And we're waiting until the back end of 2025 until inflation falls to the 2% target. And that's largely thanks to the resilience of the labour market, which is keeping wage growth at a pretty elevated level, which then feeds on into consumer spending and the performance of the economy as a whole. It's a mixed picture, and I think the message today was, well, as you said, there's no rate cuts for a while, it's higher for longer, and that is largely down to the persistence of inflation looking into next year.
And as if on cue, the rain has started to fall. Grim times have already arrived. We've been Charlie Concha and Chris Dorrell from City AM. You can catch us online in the paper and on the app.